Good evening, everyone in Creator Living Fellowship. This is Reverend Jorge, and welcome back to another time of brief practice with Reverend Jorge. I'm Reverend Jorge, and I'm sorry for my delay. I am in a lounge on Bogota, Colombia, in the airport El Dorado, and the Wi-Fi password was a little challenge for me. So welcome for everyone. I start to see someone to get in online. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. I'm here all with you. So, as you know, this uh, uh, Monday practice is just in a space, 30 minutes of space to practice and find and learn some different type of spiritual practice to enjoy our lives, to go beyond of our normal and traditional practice. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. Hi, Flannery. Uh, Hi, Krista. How are you? And as I say, this Monday practice is designed just to take different spiritual practices that we can use during the day, so that we can learn and we can grow every day of our life, not just with our meditation, not with just mantras, not with your yoga class, but with everything, all the time, just remembering and returning to the union with God. Um, so. As oh yes, I see that. As I say, with this month is the month of celebration. It's the month to celebrate with God and one with God. So and celebrating the birth of the Christ in within us and every time and all the time. So I'm doing something special this year. It's a spiritual practice called the Lectio Divina. Reverend Chair actually asked me to how you write that. Lectio, Lectio Divina, which was a practice created by monks in the 15th century, where it was actually to use art, the sacred text, to find a message from God, to find what is that in the picture of what is that in the sacred text that is for me, that for our souls, for our expression. Um, it's very sacred, but it's very simple to do. Basically, is that we take one of the sacred texts, one little story or one little paint, and we observe it and we read it, and we are asking the question, what is this is for me? What in the message is it said for me? So that's why we are playing with that this month, because we are the celebration of the Christ mind in us. Um, I see that it's perfect. Okay. Um, it's computer telling me something. So I'm using what is in a tradition in Colombia and in the Latin American Catholic countries to have a 9 days of prayer with continuously with the story of prior of the giving birth of Jesus, or Big Brother. So we call novena is because it's 9 days, and so we use this novena to remember the story. And it's kind of a lectio divina because we remember little part of the story every day and we ask ourselves, what is that for us? So we're doing that. I'm just going to tell you that last Monday we used the part of the story where the angel Gabriel show up and he said, "Don't be afraid." Hi, Reverend Sherry. Good evening. And Maria said, "Okay, could do the news say this?" Yes, I am. I'm here. I say yes. So the other, hopefully you are not hearing the voice around here. It's kind of little loud. Hopefully the microphone is working. Um, the um, the story that will continue. So now we have Mary. We have Mary, and then we have Joseph. That's the second part of the story. So we know that the story, Mary tells Joseph, "This is what happened, and they don't visit me, and I'm pregnant now." And but I haven't met any man. I'm also a your fiance, so I'm going to be your wife, and I understand what you're thinking. And that times were very difficult because the women who were out of the lock, like we say now, it will be and basically stoned by everyone. So Joseph was very confused at the time, very confused, and so he went to sleep. And in the sleep, another angel show up and tell him that Maria was telling the truth and that he will be the father of the Christ. So he woke up from the and accept his role to be the father, to be that figure in the lives of our big brother Jesus. So this is the story for tonight. Now I want you just take a deep breath, and we're going to dissect all this part of the story and ask to ourselves what in that story it's for me. For me right now, in preparation for that Christmas Eve service that I'm going to have. Before the Christmas Eve, what is in this story of the Christmas story? The giving birth of Jesus, the giving birth of the Christ consciousness on me. So we know that Maria tells Joseph, or Mary tells Joseph that she is pregnant with all these social situations that other times, that she was almost putting her life and the life of the baby into in danger. But she was honest and she was not afraid. And she accepted the reality at the same time. Let's take another deep breath. And now let's look at Joseph. He was listening what Maria was telling. He was having doubts, of course. He was very questioning. But at the same time, he knew that Maria was never touched by another man. So something was telling him in his heart that it was something, that it was maybe truth, but his doubts were very hard. Let's take another deep breath. Another deep breath. What is so far that in that story, it helps me to prepare for me giving birth of the Christ light, the Christ consciousness, how they can prepare myself for that Christmas Eve service, so that this 2022 is something more than a present, more than a gift from God. So we continues with the story, and we know that Joseph, confused and all, didn't take any action toward Maria. He just decided to go to sleep, to go to prayer, to go into that room, that sacred room that we always go, and rest, and rest. And in her dreams, something show up, and it showed him that Mary was telling the truth, that he, in his intuition, was right, and he accepted the truth with no any doubt. Everything was clear in his mind. Let's take another deep breath. Another deep breath. And the next day, Joseph runs to Mary and say, Mary, it's truth. An angel told me you are telling the truth. And he accepts his role in the next part of coming of the Christ light, of the Jesus baby birth. He knew that he has a big responsibility, but he said yes to. A different yes from Maria, from Mary. But Joseph, Jose, say yes, yes to. So what is that in our lives right now? that is looking for the yes, but is looking for a yes, I am here. We're looking for our intent, as the Reverend Sherry mentioned, and this did a wonderful talk on last Sunday. This is our role. This is our role, like a Joseph take, to share, to protect the Christ light, to raise the Christ light in us. So let's take another deep breath, a big, big breath. And let's take some minutes of silence, reviewing the story. I'm going to repeat it in a few steps, but just review the story. And when your heart vibrates, when your heart feel that, that's part of the story for you. It could be the whole story. It could be a little part of the story. This is Lectio Divina. Everything has a meaning for us. Everything that we hear, that we listen, we see. In that moment, there is something for us. Take a deep breath and another deep breath. Mary tells Joseph what happened, that she's pregnant. And she's not afraid, although she knows the consequence. If Joseph doesn't receive well, Joseph listens carefully, patiently. And he knows in his God, in his being, the most sacred being, that that's the story of Mary's truth. But he still having doubts. Still having doubts. It's difficult to listen the voice. But here goes into the silence, goes into that room, and goes to sleep. An angel visits Joseph. It confirms the story. It tells the truth. And at the same time, also reminds him that he has a role in all this story, a powerful role to take care, to raise the Christ light. And then the next day, he goes to Mary and says, yes, I know my role now. I say, yes, I know my role. I know what to do. I know what is mine to me to do for me. Take another deep breath. And another deep breath. And let's hold a minute on silence. What that part of that this Christmas story, this little story, that always all we know who we grow up in the Christian tradition. What that is part of me right now. How it can help me in to prepare myself for the next coming days, coming weeks, for the Christmas Eve, and as well for the rest of the 2022, to live in more closer to the Christ consciousness, to live in more in our authentic self. What is our intention? What is my mission? What is my goal? Let's take another deep breath. Another deep breath. And if you don't feel that there's something that right now is burning or blooming in you from the story of this today or the story of last week, it's okay. Just take care of yourself and put all the attention on during this week. You will find the message. You will find that what is needed to be revealed. Everything will be revealed. and we are prepared for the Christmas Eve. So it's just this as a preparation through Lectio Divina, through using the story, the traditional story of the Christ, the giving birth of Christ, to help us to give a birth of our Christ consciousness in us. So I'm going to allow you to, if you feel to share something, it's including could be like, nothing, not happened to me. Just share something for you. Meanwhile, I just want to tell you that this space is created by the Create and Live Fellowship in Phoenix, Arizona. And that space is very dear to me. And if you feel that you want to support this space and Create and Live Fellowship, you can use our PayPal. Oh, sorry, here. Our PayPal link or text donation text link to support us. So that way we can keep these spaces and create a level of shift alive and blooming and expanding. So or expand the Christ consciousness, not in ourselves, but in our community. I'm going to read the message that I see here. I'm going to put it on the screen. Flannery says, for me, the point is trust in the source, trust in the outcome. Indeed. I like that, Flannery, because you are you are going in a great point with the trust, because the Christ consciousness that was in the Mary womb, it was trusting. It was new that Mary said yes, that Joseph said yes. It knew that he's going to give him birth and that he's going to bring the light into the world. So that consciousness itself is living in ourselves. So we trust. We trust. We know. That's what I say. It doesn't matter if you receive something right now that your heart palpitate with part of the story. It may be later, but we trust. We trust right now. That's awesome. Now I'm going to show another message from Jeannie's words. Good evening to everyone. I ask to what is my role? I hear surrender to the divine. Indeed. That is actually what happened with Joseph. Joseph, he has his doubts, he has his fears. He was like, Mary, I don't know. But then a message came to him, a voice, a very tangential voice, and said, your role is this. Your role is support, surrender to the divine, basically. You are in the way, in a good way. Anyone wants to participate? We are almost arriving to the end of our time, and I'm already here in Bogota, almost to take my flight back to Phoenix. So I'm just having this space with you, and a space with enjoying the story, and having a wonderful time with that story. Well, thank you everyone to participate. Thank you everyone to stay long with me here. Thank you for waiting a little. I'm sorry, I was having problems with the connection with the Wi-Fi, but we made it. It was plausible. I knew we were going to flow. I know it's going to be possible to be here. So thank you all of you. Hopefully this is helpful for you, and I can't wait to see you on Christmas Eve, so we can develop this Christ consciousness in ourselves in a wonderful way. This is my time for now, and I see you next Monday in a little more peaceful space. Thank you. Bye bye.